Look, let's cut the crap. You're watching this because you've felt it, haven't you? That gut punch when a woman you genuinely liked suddenly loses interest, the gnawing doubt that you're being played, that you're just another pawn in some elaborate juego mental. Maybe you're tired of losing respeto, tired of feeling like your control emotional is constantly under siege. Perhaps you're even admitting to yourself that your failure with women isn't just bad luck, it's a lack of a clear strategia masculina. You've probably been fed the same tired, weak advice. Just be yourself, be nice. Absolute garbage. That's how you end up a doormat. Not how hombre the alta valor. This isn't a hug-it-out session. This is about real poder. It's about understanding the raw, often uncomfortable truths behind what truly attracts women, what makes them gravitate towards certain men like moths to a flame, and why they often, subconsciously, try to test your boundaries. We're talking about mastering the art of influence, not through cheap tricks, but through a profound understanding of human nature. A bit like the grand old master Machiavelli himself would approach a political landscape. If you think if it's a dirty word, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you want to understand how to prevent being manipulated, how to command attention, and how to operate from a position of undeniable strength, then stick around. Because what I'm about to reveal will not just change how women see you, it will change how you see yourself. This is the difference between being a victim of circumstance and being the architect of your own destiny. Ignore this at your peril, remain ignorant, and you remain weak. Now let's talk about what truly separates the wheat from the chaff, the men who command attention from the ones who merely exist. It's not just about what you say, but how you embody it, the very aura you project. We're talking about pure, unadulterated vitality. Forget the self-help gurus prattling about positive vibes. This is far more primal, far more potent. Nietzsche, for all his grand pronouncements, nailed something fundamental. Attraction, true attraction, is a damn primal thing. It's not about your six-pack or your bank account, though those certainly don't hurt. It's about a vitalidade, a life force that radiates from you, an inner current that signals competence, intent, and undeniable drive. Think of it as an invisible electromagnetic field, a vita ascendant that just hits people, especially women, right in their gut. They don't analyze it, they just feel it. It's contagious, almost like a virus of purpose. This isn't about being overtly energetic in some try-hard, desperate way. That's low-value behavior. It's about a deep, quiet strength, born from profound control, emotional, a self-mastery that allows you to remain unshakable regardless of the storm around you. This vital force is the bedrock of true poder, the kind that naturally garners respeto without you having to utter a single demand. The hombre de alto valor doesn't just talk the talk. He radiates a sense of purpose, a laser focus, and a direction that's simply magnetic. He's not looking for validation. He's a walking declaration of self-sufficiency. Contrast that with the average slob, the guy whose energy is flat, seeking validation, always reacting, never initiating. He's the opposite of vitalite. He's a black hole of need. Women subconsciously are repelled by that descent. They are wired to gravitate towards the ascending life, towards strength, towards potential, towards anything that promises a climb, not a fall. This isn't some hocus pocus, it's a critical component of any effective strategia mask. It's understanding that in any social interaction, it is a subtle juego mental, and your vitalidad is your ace in the hole. It makes you impervious to external manipulation and, more importantly, allows you to subtly guide the narrative, to set the tone, to dictate the terms. You think Machiavelli would have advised a prince to slouch around, unsure of himself? Absolutely not. Machiavelli understood that true influence came from a projected strength, a clear sense of purpose, an almost palpable presence. This is that strength made manifest. So, how do you cultivate this internal furnace? It begins with purpose. A man without a mission is just a ship adrift, easily swayed by every passing current. A man with a mission, however, is a force of nature. He channels his energy, he focuses it. This manifests in your words, giving them more emotional voltage when you speak. Do you sound like you believe what you're saying, or are you just mouthing platitudes? When you initiate an interaction, do you do it with an ascending energy? A calm certainty that you are a positive, valuable addition to any space you enter, or do you creep in, hoping not to be noticed? The vital man leads, even in a conversation. He doesn't wait to be invited. He extends the invitation, implicitly, through his very presence. He doesn't ask for permission to be himself. He simply is. This is not about arrogance. It's about conviction. It's about having your shit together, internally and externally. It's about building a life that demands your attention and commitment, leaving no room for weakness or indecision. That commitment, that focused energy, that's the wellspring of your vitality. But what happens when this vitality becomes a straight line, without peaks or valleys? Then comes the great villain of desire, boredom. Schopenhauer once said that a life without variation is a slow death for the soul. The predictable man is the forgettable man. If you are always available, always in the same tone, always with the same linear energy, no matter how positive, you become mobile. You cease to be a challenge, an unknown, and become a lukewarm and dull certainty. Desire, my friend, does not flourish in sameness. It feeds on ups and downs, on pursuit and reward. It thrives on uncertainty and pursuit. This is where the man who truly understands the mind game sets himself apart. He's not an emotion addict. He's an engineer. Truly hypnotic people, those who keep other people's interest and desire burning, don't do it by accident. They employ an age-old masculine strategy, deliberate emotional oscillation. This isn't being bipolar. It's being a master of subtle manipulation, a Machiavelli of relationships. They alternate calculatedly between provocation and praise, between withdrawal and closeness, between challenge and validation. Think of it as a tug-of-war game where you control both ends. First, the provocation. It's not meant to be cruel, but to create a point of friction, a challenge, a mild sarcasm, a playful dismissal, a tone of "you don't impress me easily." This creates a slight distance, a push that instigates the other person to move toward you, to prove their worth, to seek your attention. They ask themselves, what do I need to do to earn their approval, their interest? This generates emotional investment. It's a test, a way to force the person to work a little for your respect, for your presence. Power lies in never taking your value for granted. Then, when the person shows some effort, when tension starts to build, you offer praise, validation, and reward. Not cheap, constant praise, but specific, sincere praise that arrives like an oasis in the desert. I liked that. You're different. That was impressive. This pull creates a sense of relief and pleasure, a positive reinforcement that validates their effort. It's like a coach who demands the best from their athletes but rewards them generously when they reach their goal. This generates loyalty, admiration, and above all, a desire for more. This push and pull dance is a formidable mind game that keeps the other person in a constant state of anticipation. The emotional control you demonstrate by not being a well of constant validation is what elevates you to a high-value man. Someone's desire for you can't be a steady river. It needs dams and openings, an ebb and flow. If desire is a flame, this oscillation is the oxygen that keeps it alive, the fuel that prevents it from dying out into monotony. It's a power tactic, a device to ensure your place is not just one of acceptance, but of reverence. It increases respect because you show yourself to be unpredictable, a constant challenge, someone who cannot be easily pigeonholed. It's a calculated manipulation, yes, but it's a manipulation that secures your dominant position in the dynamic, keeping them trapped in your orbit. Now, let's touch on a point many men stumble upon: availability. The average man, starved for attention, thinks that being always there, ready to respond, ready to talk, is a sign of goodwill. Nonsense. This isn't goodwill. It's a lack of options. It's disguised desperation. No one values what's always at hand, what's easy. Think of a luxury item. Its rarity is what gives it value, not its abundance. Your presence should be like a rare delicacy, not daily bread. Real authority, true power, lies in your ability to strategically withdraw. It's Machiavelli's art applied to social interaction. Machiavelli wasn't talking about being hated, but about being feared and respected, and that can't be achieved by being the court jester who's always available. It's achieved by being the king who decides the time of the audience and ends it whenever he sees fit. Leaving a conversation at its peak, at the height of engagement, is a masterstroke. It's like a magician who performs the trick and disappears before the audience can blink. It leaves them with the feeling of an unfinished interaction, a desire for more. Did he not like it? What was he going to say next? These questions echo in the other person's mind, keeping you on their mind. This is top-notch mind play. You're not being rude, you're being strategic. You're teaching them, without a word, that your time is valuable, that your presence is a privilege, not a right. It's a brutal exercise in emotional control. The temptation to continue to reap the rewards of the moment is strong, but a high-valued man knows that restraint is the greatest demonstration of strength. He doesn't get carried away by the heat of the moment. He operates based on masculine strategy, not emotion. He doesn't seek to please, but rather to inspire respect. And respect comes when you show yourself to be an enigma, not an open book. This calculated manipulation isn't about being an unapproachable jerk, but about creating a dynamic where the other person invests in getting more of you. It's the antithesis of neediness. While the mediocre pursues, you retreat, and you are pursued. It's the hunted and the hunter doesn't stay in one place waiting for the prey to come to him. He moves, he positions himself, he controls the environment, even if it means being absent so the prey misses him and comes looking for him. Think of it as a masterstroke. You're in the middle of a funny anecdote or an interesting discussion, and suddenly, I have to go. Great chat, we'll catch up. No lame excuses, no prolonged goodbye. Boom, you're gone. You've left them in limbo, their minds filling in the blanks, constructing the rest of the story you didn't tell. This increases your power of fascination, your aura of mystery. They'll call, they'll text, they'll try to re-establish that broken connection. because the human mind abhors gaps. It's a fundamental masculine strategy for any man who wants to be seen not just as an option, but as the only option that truly matters. It's a constant reminder that you have a life beyond them, that you have purposes greater than just the present interaction. This isn't coldness, it's tactical intelligence. It's Machiavelli whispering in your ear, keep them guessing, and they will never underestimate you. Okay, you get the message about the art of disappearing and leaving a trail. Now, let's turn the page and delve into another facet of power that many men simply ignore. The acceptance of the absurd, a la Camus, and the confidence that springs from it. The average man has a visceral dread of silence. He feels the need to fill every gap, to talk non-stop, to laugh nervously when there's nothing to laugh about. Why? Because he's desperate to control the external environment. To avoid any sign of discomfort that might expose his own insecurity, he runs from the absurdity of life, from the unexpected, from the I don't know what to say but the high-value man. He nests in the absurd. He revels in silence. He uses it as a weapon. Think of the awkward silences. The average person trembles. The person who understands the game, the master of the mental game, smiles internally. He knows that silence is a test. It's an invisible tug-of-war. Whoever speaks first loses. Those who are comfortable in silence, who don't feel the need to break the stillness, demonstrate an inner strength that is almost magnetic. This is the true essence of emotional control. You're not trying to manipulate the environment to be comfortable. You're manipulating your own perceptions so that you are comfortable, regardless of the environment. This is pure power. It's mastery over yourself that is reflected in the outside world. Imagine a situation. You're on a date or in a business meeting. Suddenly a silence falls. The other person breaks out in a cold sweat, looks around and stammers out a meaningless sentence. You, on the other hand, maintain eye contact perhaps, with a slight, enigmatic smile, and let the silence linger. You don't fill it. You don't justify yourself. You don't feel the need to prove anything. Those who give in to the pressure of silence reveal their anxiety, their need for external validation. Those who endure the pressure, who hold the gaze, who remain calm and serene, command respect without saying a single word. This is a primal demonstration of masculine strategy, a form of subtle manipulation where inaction becomes the most powerful action. It's a game of patience, where the prize is your reputation for unshakability. The man who embraces the absurd, that is unfazed by the unpredictable, by life's flawed script. He doesn't depend on a perfectly orchestrated environment to feel in control. On the contrary, he thrives on chaos, or rather, the absence of expected order. He understands that true confidence comes not from having all the answers, but from being at ease with unanswered questions. This is Machiavelli in action, not through direct intrigue, but through a self-assurance so profound that it disarms any attempt to play mind games against you. Your mere presence, your stillness, becomes an overwhelming force that naturally asserts your power. People begin to wonder what you're thinking, what you know they don't know. They project greatness onto you because you're not trying to prove it. It's an old trick but still incredibly powerful. The aura of mystery and the ability to be strong in stillness guarantees your respect and positions you as a truly high-value man. Someone who isn't shaken by emptiness, but fills it with his own unshakable presence. Now, if stillness and mystery open the door, the real magic begins when you master the arena of language. It's not just about being eloquent or having a vast vocabulary. It's about mastering the language games, those Ludwig Wittgenstein described as the implicit rules that govern human communication. The person who understands this not only plays the game, they change the rules in midfield, leaving others bewildered but also fascinated. He's a master at connecting information in completely unexpected ways. Think of it as a mental kung. If you move, you expect a frontal punch, but he delivers a sidekick you didn't even see coming. This forces the other person's brain out of automatic mode. That lethargic state where people only process cliches and pre-programmed responses. When you throw in a curveball, a shocking analogy, a comparison no one expected, you break the pattern. You force their mind to work, to make new connections, and in that effort, you become unforgettable. This is pure manipulation, but of the elegant, almost artistic kind, an advanced form of mental gaming. It's not about deception, but about expanding perception. A high-value man knows that boredom is the greatest enemy of influence. He doesn't simply repeat what's been said or follow the script. Instead, he takes the conversation, turns it upside down, and shakes it up until something new and interesting emerges. This could be a wry quip, a sharp, thought-provoking bit of sarcasm, or a metaphor that illuminates a complex point in an absurdly simple way. The key is unpredictability combined with relevance. It's not randomness, it's a calculated diversion that serves a higher purpose, to capture and maintain focus, establishing his intellectual power. This requires impeccable emotional control. You can't hesitate or appear uncertain when dropping one of these linguistic bombs. The delivery has to be as natural as breathing, as if it were the only logical way to see the world. This confidence, in your own perspective, however eccentric it may initially seem, is what commands respect. It's the mark of a refined masculine strategy, where creativity meets cunning. Machiavelli, if he were alive and attending business meetings or social dinners, wouldn't just be concerned with power politics. He'd focus on how power is communicated, how narratives are constructed and deconstructed in real time. He who masters the narrative masters minds, and mastering language games is mastering the narrative. It's making people think your way without them realizing they're being guided. The man who does this isn't just talking, he's reshaping the thinking of others, solidifying his status as a born leader, a catalyst for ideas, and, inevitably, a recipient of power and admiration. The ability to be so creative and unpredictable in language, to turn the tables on a conversation with a well-placed phrase, is the difference between being just another person at the barbecue and being the guy everyone remembers. The man who instigates and provokes, the one who truly holds the upper hand. Ultimately, kid, what you learned here is pure Machiavelli, but without the cape and sword. It's about having the emotional control to understand that true masculine strategy isn't about brute force, but about the sharp subtlety of the mental game. Mastering communication is mastering manipulation, yes, and whoever dominates holds power and commands respect. This is the foundation for any high-value man. Now, tell me in the comments, are you ready to be the manipulator of the game, or would you rather be the pawn? If you enjoyed the straight talk and want more of these insights that will transform you into a high-value man, subscribe to the channel now, hit the bell, and let's get started. Don't hesitate. This is the only way to ensure you don't miss any more of these exclusive strategies. Ready to dive deeper? Click on the next video that's showing up on the screen. The next lesson awaits. Until next time, and remember, the board is yours.